Okay, folks, today is January 31st, and we have a little bit of time. I'm starting earlier so we can discuss the weather, which has been extremely cold in the last several days. That wasn't the reason why we were not on air in the last several weeks. The reason was the beginning of the semester, which makes time a little bit sparse, and it brings stress along with the weather, which is not very cooperative lately. Makes the cars not start, makes the walking very difficult. And there it is, exactly 10 o'clock. Today we will be talking exactly about stress reduction, and the announcement that we had posted recently on our blog is about student well-being along with school safety. There is a proposal for book chapters. There is a call for book chapters, and one of the two topics is student well-being. So that made me think that it might be good to discuss the initiatives that we embrace at schools, both K-12 and higher ed, in regarding of stress reduction, meditative practices. And this is what I have today. Practically, I had pulled up everything that can be searched in the blog under meditative, also unplugged if we go by Sherry Turkle's idea, also contemplative, and I'm truncating to contemplate because it can be contemplative practices or even the more narrower contemplative computing, which is kind of the more moderate approach to students' well-being compared to Sherry Turkle's complete disconnect from devices. And the last keyword that we have that you can search in the blog under is mindfulness. And when we mention mindfulness, we definitely have to mention also Steve Hoover, who is recently retired professor from School of Education, who has for many years researched mindfulness practices, and currently he continues, even after his retirement, he continues to do work with local school districts on mindfulness and children. So we have the Facebook recording, short recording, live recording, as we do live right now, as we do live Facebook emission. We did the same broadcast with Steve Hoover, and you can watch him in action because he is not going only theoretical, but he also shares a lot of practical examples of practical exercises. So whether it is mindfulness, the broad area of mindfulness, or the more narrower area of contemplative computing, which is of particular interest for me, or whether it's the extreme unplug idea of Sherry Turkle, which is unplug for a specific period of time, in her case for a whole week from any electronic devices. All these mindful practices aim to help students distress, and the reason why this movement is gaining momentum is because of the statistics which show that depression is more milder form, or suicide is much more drastic, problematic form, is on the rise among students in the United States. So the discussion that we face is which of these three forms do you feel most compelled to abide from, to exercise? Is it Sherry Turkle's strong disconnect, literally like curing dependency, which it has been proven already with brain scanners that the addiction to social media in particular and electronic devices in general is addiction. It flares the same part of the brain where addictions reside. Would you embrace the more moderate middle ground of contemplative practices, or you would go with even more general mindful strategies for mindfulness? So share your ideas, and if you need more details, the blog is available to you. You can post comments, you can share your ideas, you can always contact us, and we also can set up a full-blown discussion session if you're interested. My 5 minutes are over. Thank you, and looking forward to talking to you.